They're always looking, that front office is always looking to upgrade and be cheaper if they possibly can. So it's no shade on Jalen. However, man, it's going to take a treasure chest to get one of those guys if you want to really be elite and you want your football team to be elite. I get Landon Dickerson is an elite offensive player, but man, there's no substitute for an elite quarterback. I don't care who you are and what you are. Welcome back to the middle. Big Sills in for Harry Mays along with Barrett Brooks. Barrett, got something here for you. I heard the name White Castle.
Bro.
Okay. Hold on. Free sliders.
Oh!
I'm going to send these to you. Hold on.
Yes,
enjoy original slider. Okay. 3 for 1. Hold on here now. Wait. Got these bad puppies too.
Yes,
here, the
sir.
little nibblers.
Yeah.
Hey, you know Big and Z, right? Hold
Right.
on. I got more of these for you.
Come on, man. You know me, bro.
See right here, man. I mean, look, they send me this stuff, so because they know I'm a White Castle guy, they go, Sills, hey, to a legend here, and I know you're a legend on eating White Castle burgers, man. Anytime you need them, White Castle. Let me send them to you,
bro. I got to travel up the turnpike an hour to go get White Castle, and best believe I don't have a problem with it. I will drive up the turnpike. In fact, I might do it today. I'm gonna drive up the turnpike an hour up the road and go get me some White Castle and drive right back, man.
Hold on, how many of them things? Let me see. Let me tell you what I did one day. So we go out, and I had never in my life drinking Mad Dog. I had never drank Mad Dog 2020, or I never drank Thunderbird. I never had any of this. And by the way, Mad Dog's like $3 or $1.88 or whatever the hell it is, right?
I got a story about that too.
I go like this, shit, give me 3 of them. And so I was like, I had never had that stuff. So Mad Dog 2020, I'm drinking. It's like, I just like grape juice.
Right, exactly.
I go like this. Well, shit, I just gun it. Man, I have never been more effed up in my life, man. I'm rolling around, and I'm just doing – and this was at Maryland too, man, which I was a maniac anyway. So I walk into White Castle, man, and I go like – and, dude, I'm hammered. And I walk in, I go – they go, how many burgers? I go, shit, man, you better give me 3 of them boxes. Fill it up. I must have ate 25 – I must have ate 25 of them White Castles. Hoss, I get back to my dorm room. Man, I'm in there, and all of a sudden I'm laying in bed. And I jump up, and I went, oh, my God, I have never in my life. I thought, man, I projectile vomited. Hey, I thought I was breaking grapes.
Bro.
Hey, dude, I have never – I ate 23 of them fuckers one night.
Bro, I get the surf and turf, man. I get 2 double cheeseburger and it's a fish fillet in 1 burger. That's what I get. I get the surf and turf, man. But look, this is my story about Mad Dog, man. I was in college, man. It was the worst, man. But me and my boy, it was spring break, and everybody was home for spring break, and I couldn't afford to get home. I didn't have any money to get home, and I didn't have a car. So I'm sitting there. So me and my frapper was sitting there and say, man, all right, let's go get some Mad Dog and watch Faces of Death. I don't know why we do. I'm talking about, and so that's what we do. We get like 5 bricks of Mad Dog, and people, so they call them bricks, not bottom. We call them bricks. We get 5 bricks of Mad Dog. We come back to the house, and we're in my dorm room, and all of a sudden we start watching Faces of Death. All of a sudden, these 2 girls walk by. We knew them. They came in. They start watching Faces of Death with us. I get like 3 of them down. I get to that 4th one. Bro, I wake up. And when I wake up, I'm in St. Louis. I went from Kansas City to St. Louis. I ended up in St. Louis in front of my dad's house. I ended up in St. Louis. I'm like, yo, what am I doing here? I get up, man, and I go in. I talk to my pop. My pop lived next door. He had, he had this double unit. He had, 4 apartments, and he lived in one on this side, and He let me go to the one on the other side, and I woke up, and it was me and my frat brother and 3 girls, and we were in St. Louis. And I looked outside. It was one of the girls' cars. They drove us there. I don't know how I ended up there, how direction or anything, bro. That's a scary.
It's like Hangover 2.
Yeah. How do I end up in St. Louis? St. Louis is 8 hours away. You know what I'm saying? 8 hours away. How do you do that, bro? God, it was crazy, man.
Hey, here's one last one here. So Danny Stubbs, who played with me at Miami.
That's my dude, Daniel Stubbs. I played with Stubbs in Philly.
Yeah, man.
Daniel Stubbs.
Yeah, Danny Stubbs, man. And by the way, it's the only time at UM history, 2 guys with the same initials, born on the same day, made first team All-American, and me and him, man, were thick as thieves. Well, get this. And Stubbs partied his ass off.
Still. He was old and he partied with me.
Hey, man. Hey, how you doing, everybody? This guy could drink a case of beer and do whatever. I said, all right, Stubbs, I'm going to go out with you one night. This is again in the offseason. We're drinking our dude, I woke up. I was in Nassau, and my pants were around my ankles. I had no height. I'm in Nassau what? They go Nassau, Bahamas. Because it's only like a 90. It's like a 90-minute ride from like Miami in an airplane, a little hopper to go over to the Bahamas. I'm going like, I'm in Nassau. What? What do you mean? I'm in a different country? What the? How did I find my pants are down? I'm like, I had no idea how I got there. Holy shit, man. And Stubbs was like, hey, this is what you do when you're buddying with me. You know how he talked, man.
Me and Stubbs used to fight every day in practice. You think you all tough, rookie? You think you all tough? I got you. I'm gonna get you this time. Oh, I got you. He was steady talking, man. I'm steady serving him up, but he was steady talking, man. That's my boy Stubbs, man.
Hey, that dude had a chest like a 12-year-old boy, man. He couldn't do anything, and he's going against Big Barrett, man. That's funny, man. I mean, Stubbs couldn't. He I got to do my arm curls. And shit. He never did anything. He ended up his career with about 61 sacks, man. So, pretty good, man. All right, let's talk a little bit. By the way, okay, all of you now from the first hour, after I suggested that Landon Dickerson, to the Cincinnati Bengals for a first rounder. So nobody in Philly wants a first rounder. They want Landon Dickerson. They said, Sileo, I love you, but absolutely not. I'm like, okay, I mean, I'm going to bring this up a little bit later on. But, dude, I mean, I can't believe that you wouldn't want 4 first-rounders.
Bro, we love our players, bro. We love our players, man. If you can win this city over, you could be here for years and years and years, man. They just love their players here, man. And he's cemented himself.
How about this? If he were to go into the draft right now, what pick would you think would be warranted to get rid of him, to send him to Cincinnati? Say you wanted to get another first, because like I said, it's going to take a lot to get Russell Wilson to want to come here. And it's going to take a lot to get Deshaun Watson to want to come and play in Philadelphia. You're going to need multiple first rounds. You're going to need multiple picks to land a guy like that. If you want, and by the way, I want to make sure we do this. I'm not speaking for you, Barrett, but I don't think our conversation in any way is any shade on Jalen.
No question.
I don't think we're throwing any shade on him at all. But as you and I have talked and told people, the league is about getting better every single day and trying to find guys that they can upgrade at every single position, including coaching staff. They're always looking, that front office is always looking to upgrade and be cheaper if they possibly can. So it's no shade on Jalen. However, man, it's going to take a treasure chest to get one of those guys if you want to really be elite and you want your football team to be elite. I get Landon Dickerson is an elite offensive player, but man, there's no substitute for an elite quarterback. I don't care who you are and what you are. The Bengals proved that to you. You don't have to have an elite line to win a Super Bowl or to be in a Super Bowl. Well, maybe to win it. I do think you have to have it, but you have to have that elite guy. if you're going to be in that game. And right now, the Eagles don't have that elite guy.
Well, I'm gonna give you the pulse. I think really in Philly right now is to give Hurts another year and develop him another year and go in with these 3 draft picks in the first round and really build around, build the team up, build around this quarterback. I think that's what they're doing. I mean, that's what they want to do. They don't see any reason at this point that Hurts would hurt you from getting to the playoffs. They really believe, that Hurts is a good enough quarterback and a good enough game manager to be okay with being a starting quarterback for this team.
You think he can win a Super Bowl?
I don't know. I will say this. I think that he can be a Super Bowl winning quarterback. I think he can. And that's simply because he's got to learn. He's right now 23 years old. He's 23. He's going into his 3rd year. He's only 23 years old. Carson Wentz hadn't taken a snap in his career yet. But
he's actually younger than Joe Burrow. He's actually younger than Joe Burrow.
Yeah, exactly. And because he's so young, everyone believes, including myself, that he can get good enough. He can get better. Now, everybody says, he doesn't have a strong arm. Hell, there's a lot of quarterbacks that have a strong arm. In fact, Tom Brady didn't have a strong arm.
I think you can improve on that.
Yeah, you can improve on him as a player. And I think he's going to do everything possible and list every type of herb, coach, root, magic, whatever it's going to take for him to develop into a quarterback, because that's just the type of person that he is. He will get better over this offseason and come in and show improvement going into this season. Now, is it good enough to be along the level of the quarterbacks we saw in the Super Bowl or the quarterbacks we saw in the playoffs? That's to be determined. But I do think he's good enough to go out there and win games for this Philadelphia Eagle team.
Do you think that style of play wins Super Bowls? Because look, I mean, I think I think if you're Steve Biscotti and you're the owner of the Ravens, and I brought this up 2 days ago to you, I think the Ravens love Lamar, and I do, and I think we all do, and I think he's an electric guy. And for the life of me, I don't know how the University of Miami allowed that guy to leave South Florida.
Right.
I have no idea how you let that guy just roll out of your building to go to Louisville. He's a South Florida kid. A lot of people love him. He's great in the community. He's a phenomenal face of the franchise. I have actually gone back and forth with him on Twitter because somebody was talking shit on him because of the way he dressed, his hair, and, the gold teeth. And I was like, what a racist comment.
Right.
I go, this guy is such a leader, man. I mean, you're looking at all the stupid peripheral stuff. Look at the content of the man's character. The man is a guy who goes out in the inner city. He's trying to give hope to kids that if he could do it, you could do it. That's how I got and played at the next levels, because I looked at people like Gary Cobb, and Gary played in my city, and I was like, damn, if Gary could do it, man, maybe I can.
Absolutely.
And so I looked at stuff like that. But as a football player, if you're looking at that, man, he got banged up in the second half of that year. And then the other benchmark is looking at Cam. Cam's toast. I mean, he's a toast athlete now. That style of play beat his ass so bad. And then the other guy is Vic. Was Vic really ever a Super Bowl quarterback? Man, I don't know. He was electric. He lit the scoreboard up. We never know because of that time what happened, what could have been in Atlanta. I don't know what could have been. There will always be out there. But that style of play, Barrett, it's really good for television. It's really good for Madden. But I don't know if it's really good for postseason football, because at the end of the day, these guys get beat on, and their life expectancy at that position, Tom Brady plays 40. This guy plays until he's 44 years of age for a reason. Tom Brady had one significant knee injury about 12 years ago, and outside of that, they changed the rules where you can't touch the dude. Well, you can touch a guy who's running the football, and you can bang on him. Look what they did to Tebow. When they figured out to drop that linebacker down every time he ran that stupid pitch play or
right.
toss play, I mean, NFL linebackers were blowing him up, man. He was never going to last, even though he wasn't an NFL guy. They were blowing him up. I'm just wondering, and Hurts had surgery at the end of this year. I'm just wondering, that style of play, I don't know if it's conducive to winning games.
Well, at this point, you can't say that it has results in winning a Super Bowl because we haven't seen that yet. But I don't see Hurts as just being a guy that's going to be a one-trick pony. And I think that's the biggest difference. I think Hurts wants to develop into being a quarterback and can do both. Throw from the pocket like Russell Wilson, but also be able to run when he has to, or run within the scheme work of what the offense is asking him to do. That's the only way that he's going to survive. You look at guys like, look at the Browns. Look at what they're going through with Baker Mayfield. Look what happened with Murray. I mean, taking those hits, man, they just can't do it. Their bodies aren't developed to do and have that type of toll put on them. Allen's just a rare bird that, he can throw from the pocket right now, and he's learning to do that more so than use his body. But even they run him too much. At this point, the evolution of what the Eagles have at quarterback is going to change with Jalen Hurts. They'll adapt to what Jalen Hurts does well if they go forward to have him as a quarterback. I believe they can win with Jalen Hurts being that quarterback, but they're going to have to shore up one side of the ball to carry the other side of the ball. Either way it goes, whether it's drafting everybody around Jalen on the other side of the ball or drafting all the guys on the defensive side of the ball to make the defense carry the offense. But they need to make one side heavier than the other side because they can't think that they can do both of them equally and still win games.
You think that's what they're doing in Dallas?
That's absolutely what they're doing in Dallas. They see the transition from offense to their defense being how they're winning games.
It's kind of what the Rams really, if you think about it, right? They have 2.5 really fine players there. They got Jalen Ramsey. They got rejuvenated Von Miller. How long does that last? And they got Aaron Donald, and the rest of those guys, no disrespect, are kind of dudes.
Yep.
Right? And then the rest of your money
is
over with Woods and with Cooper Kupp and with Stafford and with the O-line, making sure that O-line is –
they're going to have a problem next year also because they got to find somebody to play left tackle.
I want to throw this at you before we get into the quarterbacks here for a second here that are coming out in the draft. I made this point to people, and I said this to everyone in the afternoon show, the National Football Show. I said this: Cooper Kupp is a dude, and I'm going to make a point to you here. Well, last year he only had 979 yards and 4 touchdowns or 3 touchdowns.
The Eagles would take that in New York minute because they don't even have it.
They have that now, Devontae. Okay, but know this. When you bring a quarterback with a Super Bowl arm in, you transform Cooper Kupp into 17 or 1,900 yards and 16 touchdowns and 145 catches.
Fair take.
Okay, yep. And if you don't have that Super Bowl arm, there's not a wide receiver in the NFL that will want to come and play with Jalen because, like you said, if you're building that team around that style of play and you're going to build that, there's not a free – if I'm Cooper Kupp, I would look at the Eagles and go, never in a billion years would I come play with Jalen because my numbers are going to be Devontae Smith numbers, 68 catches, 925 yards. I mean, the numbers prove it. Cooper Kupp with Jared Goff last year was under 950 yards catching, receiving, and he played all the games last year, and he had 3 touchdowns last year. I mean, this year – it was an unbelievable, the play calling. Stafford, if you don't have that big arm, you're not going to attract. And I wonder, like you said, I wonder how that looks perception-wise during free agency right now when Howie's out there and you're going to try to call a big-time wideout. I'm just throwing Julio Jones. Why would Julio want to come to a team where he may get 30 catches for 400 yards? Why would I come and do that when my contract is built on incentives? The Eagles right now are not a destination for offensive players, like you say. If they want to go heavy, Barrett, they got to go heavy in the draft. You're not going to get skilled NFL veteran 28 to 29-year-old guys that are going to want to come and play with Jalen. And again, no shade on him. This is about me earning my paycheck and me making my money here and me worrying about what my incentives are in my contract. I know that guy is not going to get me my incentives. He's not going to get me. There's the example is Cooper Kupp with Matthew Stafford and having Jared Goff last year.
It's hard to fight that argument. You know, what you're saying is true, man, because I mean, that's the only reason why Alshon, you know, at the time when Alshon signed with the Eagles, the reason why he signed with the Eagles because the lure of having Carson Wentz there. Carson Wentz, hey, come play with this young quarterback. So they were able to get the number. At the time, he was the #1 wide receiver, free agent out there at the time. And he could have signed with other teams for longer deals, like 3-year contracts worth, you know, however millions of dollars. But he signed with the Eagles on, you know, basically a prove-it type of 1-year prove-it type of deal. And he ended up proving it. They ended up signing him. But how hard is it to bring somebody in for Jalen Hurts to be that guy and try to, you know, get somebody, hey, man, you know, come on in here? You might be right about that.
You know what? The last time the Eagles had a 1,000-yard receiver was Jeremy Maclin. 14.
Yep. In 14.
2014, Barrett. How in the world, you know, and I always see people saying, oh, we need a veteran. Man, you ain't getting T. Higgins to want to come and play in Philadelphia. I mean, and again, it's about opportunity. And like you say, when you're building here, I'll make a point to you too. How many people do you think are really lining up to want to go play in Tennessee? It's not really an Eagle thing. It's a system thing. How many big-time wide receivers like Odell Beckham want to go and play in Tennessee when you know that you're looking at a scenario there where the majority of the offense is going to run through Derrick Henry, and they're going to run the ball, and that's going to be the style. Now, same thing with Arizona, like you were saying. Okay, so DeAndre Hopkins, they make that move to get him, and he's going to get the bulk of the catches. Dude, 2s and 3s, they're just dudes there because those guys, no really good wideout is going to want to go and play in Arizona knowing that the style of offense they have. And same thing with Baltimore. I mean, when's the last time Baltimore had a gigantic wide receiver? Anquan Bolden? I mean, really, when's the last time they had somebody in that system?
That they didn't draft.
Yeah, they have to draft those guys.
Yeah.
And get this, and there we start again. Okay, you're drafting guys to a team that has a quarterback that has accuracy issues early in his career. Let's give him the benefit that he'll get better. But that was the stuff that plagued him. The reason he got replaced, Barrett, at Alabama by Tua Tagovailoa was because of his accuracy issues. And he got replaced there, and he had to move. Now, did he improve under Lincoln Riley at Oklahoma? He did. He improved his accuracy. He got that team into a Final Four. But, you know, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, he was throwing to CeeDee Lamb there.
Right. Well, that's and there it is. You know, when CeeDee Lamb was so wide open, you really didn't know what his ability was to read a defense, what his ability was to throw a guy open, because CeeDee Lamb was always open. He was just that much of a freakish player in that Big 12 conference. So, you know, it's hard to really evaluate these quarterbacks coming out when you're looking at, you look at Ole Miss's quarterback, even though he's hurt.
Matt Corral.
Matt Corral will probably be, to me, the best quarterback in the draft simply because
I agree.
Who he played in the SEC, the amount of competition that he had in ACC.
Those future pro NFL DBs and corners,
yes,
like Stingley, that are in that conference. Yes, I agree because of the competition.
So when you look at Malik Willis, you know, I know we're about to go into the, but Liberty, come on, man, what competition are you getting there? You know, what competition are you getting with you know? I mean, I forget who they play.
Hey, Barrett, you know what though? When you say that, I'm gonna tell you what I said about Carson Wentz. The same thing I say about Trey Lance. North Dakota State, I mean, do you play against anybody in those conferences that are pro football players at all where you get a good competition? I mean, I had to look up on YouTube Trey Lance's games because I had never seen the guy. I think I saw him play one game.
Me too. And they had him play a running back. He was running back. He wasn't throwing anything.
I'm not even that because I call him one play Trey. I think he played one in his final year at North Dakota State. I think he played one game. Maybe that's what you're referencing. I never saw the guy play, and I go, let me YouTube something, and I was like, okay, the windows are wide open, but who's he playing against? I'm like, I don't know if you get a really good, fair evaluation of a guy when he's playing against people that could play in the Ivy League. And no disrespect to that, but I mean, I'm not recruiting anything out of the Ivy League, really. I'm recruiting everything out of the Southeastern Conference. I'm recruiting everything out of the Big Ten. I might go into the Pac-12. And I told everyone this. If I had 11 picks like Howie Roseman does, man, 70% of my picks would come out of the Southeastern Conference, Barrett, because you know why? It's just a competition. And the chances of my failure are going to be limited because of the amount of athletes that go to that conference and play against the competition. You're playing Florida, you're playing Georgia, you're playing Alabama, LSU, A&M. I'm going to stick in. I mean, watch this. In the Big Ten, outside of Ohio State and outside of Michigan, really, some dudes on Iowa, okay. Indiana, really? I mean, right? Rutgers, I mean, Maryland, I mean, Minnesota, okay. I mean, but those teams down in the Southeastern Conference, man, they're loaded everywhere. Like a 6-5 SEC team, in my opinion, no disrespect to the Big 12, Barrett, man, that team might go 10 wins.
Oh, there's no question about that. I mean, you look at if I was Howie Roseman, you could literally just draft off Alabama and Georgia and complete
and you won't go wrong.
Yeah, and complete your team. There's no question about that. You know, you look at the athletes that they have down there, time and tested, you know, those guys come out ready to play, you know, because of the level of competition, even though LSU
and the coaching.
Well, that too, you know, but even a team like LSU who had a bad season this year, you know, they were the worst team. I mean, my Kansas State Wildcats whooped their tail in the bowl game. But you can still go in there and got Derek Stingley, guys like that on the defensive side of the ball that you could draft right now and play. Corners that can play right now, safeties that can play right now, linebackers in that conference. It's easier. Why even look? I wouldn't even go west. There's no way I would go west if I was Howie Roseman. No way. I mean, even to go get USC.
Think about that. Yeah, it's a great point. Outside of Oregon and the Pac-12, SC sucks. Arizona State. Okay, I mean, maybe Utah. They've got some decent players there. I mean, but Stanford, okay, got some smart players. And again, you know, some will go like this. Yeah, but then you miss out on guys like Jerry Rice at Mississippi Valley State. But yeah, then I turn around and I go, yeah, but then guess what I do? I get a guy like Odell Beckham, or I get Jefferson, or I get Julio Jones from the Southeastern Conference. Right. I get, you know what? I may miss Jerry, but I'm not going to be far from Jerry if I play and I put my cards in that conference down there. So I think when you're looking at particular quarterbacks, I mean, like you said, Liberty, I don't know. I mean, look, you know, you look at Steve McNair. I get those guys. I get the Phil Simses. I get the small market quarterbacks that played in those smaller programs. Man, but those guys are dime a dozen, Barrett. I mean, you know, you've got to play again. Joe Burrow and Mac Jones are great examples of this. These guys, when they came out of college, I don't think these guys could jump over a ruler.
Right.
But these guys played with superstar players. And they had superstar coaching. There's a reason, Barrett, that the coaches today, I'm going to say this to you about Lincoln Riley. So Lincoln Riley, I think he took the weasel way out, leaving Oklahoma and going to SC, because you know what he didn't want to do? He knew Oklahoma was going into the Southeastern Conference. Oklahoma in the SEC, that current team that they have, would be killed. That team would get killed because why? They don't play defense.
Yep. They
don't play defense. He knows that if he goes into that conference with Kirby Smart, with them other dudes, he's got no chance. And then he's got to out-recruit Nick at the quarterback position. I can't believe that Nick's a spread offense now compared to what he used to be when he was pounding ground. And now all of a sudden all these quarterbacks want to go play there. I'm just saying that when I look at the quarterbacks coming out, the kid from Pitt, you know, I look at that guy and I'm going like this. I don't know. You know, I mean, okay, are you saying that he's good because Dan Marino went there? I mean, I don't know. I mean, you know, I see these kids coming out. One of these, you know this, one of these kids that are going to come out this year are going to surprise somebody, okay? Yep. They're going to surprise somebody, and they're going to go on and do great things. But the majority of the bulk of these guys that I see coming out this year, nobody really – I don't really see anybody out there.
Yeah, I'm not going to lose any sleep over these guys right now. So, I mean, there's no need to trade up in the draft to go get a guy like Pickett or, I mean, Howell. I mean, I can't see, Willis. I can't see going out doing that. So, I mean, it really puts the Eagle in a compromising position because they're saying that they don't fully trust the quarterback, but yet they're not going to draft a quarterback this year. So it's automatically pushing you to free agency or trade options to get a big-time quarterback.
Absolutely. Let's do this. The Eagles are going to have $28 million with some restructuring of contracts. I want to throw, as a matter of fact, the Eagles have the least amount of players that are currently under contract that are going to affect the salary cap. Darius Slay's one of them. Hargrave is one of them. I want to hit on that with you a little bit when we come back here in 3 minutes. Keep it here on The Middle.
Go for the midnight dares. Go for